Today we're going to be answering the most common question we get asked. In fact, at the recent Exotica we were at, I feel like it was like every 5 minutes we were getting this one. And it was just, how did you guys get into this? What are you doing here? How did you find this?
Yeah, that's probably our most common question is, how did we get into the industry? Who introduced it to us? Why did we decide? Like some form of that question. How did we make the decision to do it? What were we doing beforehand? Do we enjoy what we do now?
Or like, I think an appropriate question for us is, how did you get into it? Yes. How did you find it? And then why did you stay? Because it's a job it's a job that you can have an account and you can kind of dabble in, but to make it your full-time job, I think that's what they're asking, but I'm not sure if they're asking that or if they're just asking, like, how did you go from, your previous life to this one? So yeah. We're here to answer both of those things, I guess. And so I guess it makes sense to do it chronologically. But so how did we first find out about this? Did you know about cams at all before Brian told you about
Yes.
Chaturbate?
Yes, but only because I was getting those little like pop-up ads while watching porn on like Pornhub or something.
All right.
I would see a pop-up ad and it would be, most of the time it was kind of the traditional cam girl look, somebody that had a lot of makeup on, or it was somebody that it's usually like a single female, very brightly lit thing. And anyway, it was just like this brief little like window, and it was supposed to be a live cam, and like I don't think I ever really like looked into it. I didn't really have an interest in interacting with anyone directly. Yeah.
Sorry, let me just stop you for 1 second. The entire thing has like restarted, and our information at the top that said what we're doing is gone, and it's the previous, like, everything. So just give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, the notice.
Like, that's old. Like, suddenly it just switched to an entirely different situation.
Did you start an app?
No.
Oh.
No, we were just talking. Yep, there you go. It's back. Okay. So it just refreshed on me, and then it changed, like, okay, that's not... Let's start this. That is something I fucked up.
Display message for you can just hit no right above that.
Because I do want that.
I see.
Alright, no, they're not here. Something happened with the apps and stuff. It like
Sorry, curious.
That's weird.
Yeah, not
it like queued up a show from last week. I was like, you guys, that's not fair for any of us. We're just having a talk right now, and it's like sluts on parade. Alright, sorry. So we can go back to where we were in the chat, and then I'll just edit this chat. Okay, so sorry. So you knew about cam girls because they existed in pop-ups. You did not know there was cam couples, right?
No.
What about
no, and no, I don't think that really dawned on me until you and I started looking into it, that was even like a thing. Now, I can imagine how it would be. It wouldn't have been didn't like blow my mind or anything. It was just like, like, oh yeah, okay, I guess couples could do this because people want to see, the combinations of parts and pieces fitting together.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Dildos, or you can fake dildos for a little while, but then there's no replacement for another full person.
And then I remember when we first met, you mentioned putting videos on some tube site. Was it Pornhub? Did you know about that? You knew people were putting videos up?
I went to YouPorn, but I didn't realize that YouPorn was like part of the Pornhub network. For whatever reason, and this is important. We've realized. I for whatever reason trusted that site. It's not like I spent money there, I gave my credit card, but it was enough to
that's interesting.
have a go-to, I didn't.
So your go-to is YouPorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much.
Which is interesting because I don't use it anymore. I just because I think all the same content is on Pornhub.
Right, and we know that
But I
that's
guess,
the main group.
I don't
That's
really know
really
how
funny.
they prioritize their content exactly.
So, okay, so because I remember moving out of the house I had been living in, moving in with you, Googling about putting our videos online. So you had mentioned it to me because I was just like, what is that? You know, and I was looking into it and it all seemed really sketch and I didn't think, and that's when I decided we would never get paid for something like that.
Sure.
And that's
it would
when
just have to be fun.
No, like in my mind, I thought they would never pay you. Like it was all a big scam. They were gonna get your videos and then they were gonna like not pay you.
Yeah,
so,
people were gonna make money off your videos, and you would just have to. Like, again, that's what I'm saying. You would just have to do it for fun if you were doing it at all.
Oh yeah, like take a chance.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So then when did we decide to take a chance? I don't remember. I mean, I definitely remember being dissatisfied with my job. I know it was the summer of 2016. I don't really know what made me cave because I know you got on Streammate. You got us an account on Streammate.
Yeah.
I don't remember what made me say, all right, let's just try this. Hey, what's up?
Oh, yeah, sure. What's up,
Oh,
Jim?
yeah, sure.
Did I, Oh, well, hold on. Jim, we're talking about, we'll look at the headline, you can see it. But we're just talking about how we got into camming and into doing our own amateur content, and we're sort of reminiscing. I don't know how much you've heard so far.
Yeah, and we're just kind of going through the story chronologically and recording it because we get this question a lot and we always want to be able to direct people to a video and be like, there you go, that's the whole story.
Right.
Which is perfect time. This is story time. You usually tell us stories. Now we're telling stories.
So,
and yeah, everybody else in here, that's what's going on. So tonight, no sex and no random conversations. So I'm not purposefully ignoring you guys, but I kind of am.
But we're purposely ignoring you guys. If you're not on topic, we're not.
Yeah. It's choppy. Okay.
Okay. Does it get choppy in different areas of your house sometimes?
That wouldn't have nothing to do with us, right?
No, because Chaturbate's doing the transcoding.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably not watching in 4K anyway.
Okay.
So he's getting...
It's like an actual internet issue.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And sure. But yeah, while we're pausing, does anyone have any questions really quick? I don't really speak French very well. I just understand. Thanks.
Lickety 2112.
Oh, what up? No swap in the Hippie Vibes reunion show.
I'm going to move this over because I can't see it.
No. I love Lick Kitty. That's cute.
Mm-hmm. Lickety.
Oh, lickety. But I'm like,
but it's Lick Kitty.
Lick Kitty.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
no, it's a really nice little play on words. It made me smile.
Yeah, so I think that I must have. I don't know what.
Okay, so there was a number of things. I remember there being a number of things that were kind of happening. I think I even told you I was interested in doing maybe solo stuff. You know, I was kind of curious in doing some solo stuff, and that I was interested in trying that out. But I don't think I did that first. I'm pretty sure we cammed together first, and then I was like, oh, I think I want to do this kind of on my own. Because I told you when I was, before I met you, I had kind of played with that idea of just, I had like set up my little webcam and recorded my own little like jack-off videos that you've seen. Right,
so you knew... but you were not clear with me about it. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this even with or without your support. Like I don't think I quite. I think you still just kind of kept it like, hey, this would be cool, or would you? Yeah, you were really nice about it. Like you weren't just like, so I'm forging ahead. Like you definitely waited for me to catch up, and
I think we started watching some cams on a couple of sites first.
No, I didn't watch shit. I didn't know shit.
Well, I think I was starting to try to figure out, if I could just kind of watch and see if anybody was actually seeming to make some money or tokens or have some form of income from it somehow. And I really, maybe we need to talk to Brian because he was kind of present during that time. and introduced some of these ideas to us. So Brian, that we cammed with recently, is the one that actually said the word Chaturbate to us first.
Yeah.
And then I already knew about Pornhub and YouPorn and doing like the videos, but the camming stuff he seemed to know more about.
Right.
And
I think he told us about Chaturbate, and then you researched all the different sites.
Yes.
And we decided Streamate because
Yes.
I was nervous. Because I was like, whoa, Chaturbate has way too many people in the room. Yeah, yeah.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyway, well,
okay. Well,
no
sorry.
worries.
All right. Well, we'll.
Yeah. we forget about that. We worked. We tried another place. We don't like them. We didn't stick around. We found that Chaturbate was like the right place for us.
Yeah.
And there's all these different models for different ways to cam, and we just really felt like the vibe here at Chaturbate fit our flow. Just being in public, being around a large group of people and higher traffic, and some of the other sites are like strictly privates or some other thing.
But that's what we did start with. For
Yeah,
months,
we tried
and
that.
I felt really comfortable with that for a while because
Right.
I was like, okay, when we're doing the things, we're not in public, and if someone's just scrolling through the internet, they won't be able to see us. And but I remember that we worked all that summer, and that was so. It's like we got the account on the other site, and then we found out I was pregnant, and then we dealt with all that shit. And we were trying to figure out, what was going to be what with that. And I remember that we were on that site, and then unfortunately the baby didn't make it. And I feel like after that whole ordeal was when we switched to Chaturbate.
Yes.
And I don't remember why, but I think I just had started to get that fatigue of the in and out of privates thing.
Yes.
And so
I was
like,
feeling that too.
Yeah, we were both just like, this is
Oh my
unsustainable
God.
as fuck. So yeah, I think we started looking around for other solutions and things like that. Yeah, then we found Chaturbate. We also found Lovin's at the same time.
Yeah, or shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I
or
just
something.
remember that. I was because in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna go to the site where you wear the pink thing coming out of your pussy.
Right.
Like I thought it went together. I didn't realize that
Yeah.
it was like a new thing hitting the market at that time. So
Kitty, you're bringing up something really interesting that we sort of discovered in our process of figuring out what we were going to do when we get on cam every day. And one thing that we realized we like to do is just chat with people. And so we realized that that was an underserved area of the cam community. We felt like was the area where you could just hang out and chat and get to know people, and you provide value in that way too. So we realized that things were a lot more sustainable for us, and I don't know, we just realized that we got a lot of good feedback too when we started to just like chat and get to know people and actually let more of our own personal lives kind of come through our cam show, and we show a little bit more. And so anyway,
yeah, we didn't do that at first though. We didn't really know.
Yeah.
I don't think we thought people would value us in that way. So
Right.
we didn't really. But then I do remember, actually, back to like the chronology, starting on Chaturbate, and we started over there. We we need to do that again. We had like coffee at the coffee bar over there. We have this like bar behind me, yeah.
That was good.
And we were doing a lot of talking, and that we were having a great time. And,
my flashback just comes to like one of the first weeks or one of the first days that we had the fucking Lovin's toys. I remember you standing up on top of the stools at the bar, like spread out, trying not to fall while people were trying to vibrate you and make you fall off the fucking,
That's right.
off the bar stools.
What up, Lauren? Oh,
Anyway,
yay!
That was a lot of fun.
I'm glad that you know
How are
it
you?
now.
Not much going on there yet.
guys.
We have a little bit there for you to consume, but we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. We might do some vlogs, but like, man, vlogs are such a large amount of work, and I don't think ahead yet well enough to make sure I film all the right aspects of a particular situation. I'll get to the editing, and I'm like,
Right.
I got nothing here.
Right. Thanks, Robert.
Hi.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
that.
Okay, yeah. So right, we started over there. We started at the bar. We were doing some couple stuff. Yeah, I definitely remember that. That's when we met Just a Perv. That's when we met some of our core people that are still with us on Chaturbate now.
Yeah.
And okay, so fast forwarding, we chatterbated for a little while, and then
while trying to maintain our other jobs too. That
right.
was another thing, you know. I was still I had kind of started to transition out of, or had just finished my small business. And we also, oh my gosh.
They were calling you the Jesus of Chaturbate. I'm like, yes, they do.
There he is. What was I gonna say?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm loving chat. What was he talking about, guys?
We were talking about transitioning.
Oh, is it choppy for you too?
Interesting.
No, you're not the only one. You remember the other room, Pulaski? Yeah. Okay, let's try to. Do you want to downscale back to 20? They might say 50, but they might not be able to handle it.
Okay, yours looks fine.
Yours looks fine.
Are you on a PC? Are you on like the people having problems? Are you on mobile? Okay, you're on a PC. So on a PC, it looks fine. That makes sense.
Mobile or tablet, that's the same thing.
I'm on my phone. Okay, so it's choppy on your phone.
So they're not downscaling it.
It was choppy until I quit streaming.
Yeah, it's too good of a video. We have to
that's
downscale
good.
it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we amped up our bit rate because we can, and I guess it was choppy until I quit streaming. Now it's good.
Yeah, so it's requiring too much of their machines.
Yeah,
so let's go.
It's taking too much bit rate.
It's okay. We'll go back down. We'll go back down.
No, yeah. What is your bit rate?
50K.
50,000.
But Chaturbate supposed to be doing the transcoding. All that's not supposed to be put on you.
Right.
So you're not supposed to have to fully get that, but it's okay. Let's just fix
okay.
it.
So exactly. Yeah, that's upload. Exactly. So because our camera captures 100 megabytes. So we're gonna stop streaming real quick, downscale it, and
we'll be right back. We're gonna fix it. Yeah, they're not ready yet.
I mean,
okay. This is gonna be such a bitch to edit. We've had so many pauses. Thanks. Can you say us no?
Alright, we should be... Here, let's refresh.
Thanks, Positive.
Should we refresh?
Shouldn't have to.
Okay.
You're welcome to if it makes you feel better.
You guys probably won't even notice a difference, honestly. I don't know. For people that have 4K monitors and shit, you'd probably notice a difference, but maybe not. I don't know.
Right.
I see Phil's nose hair.
Exactly. So lower, it's okay. I don't even have barely any nose hairs. That's not even.
I do. I have to trim mine. Mine get crazy.
But you have face
Mine
hairs
start
everywhere.
like hanging out. They're like all angry. They're all like. Rawr!
Why? How can hair? He's the first person in my whole life who's ever called hair angry.
You've used it for other body parts, though, haven't you?
No, you just like to say that when hair goes wild. It's like it's angry.
Angry, yeah, right.
It's angry.
Well, how come, like, how come the trees around the witch's house are always like twisted and like knobby and like a particular like kind of thing?
They're not angry trees.
Well, I get that, but you get my point.
Creepy trees.
Okay, all right.
They're creepy.
That's my point.
Hey, come for you guys. They're from the Twitter chat.
Better than butt hair.
I just realized it was you guys. I have a really bad habit of reading people's messages and not their names, or like not fully. Like you've been talking. You've been talking forever.
Lauren.
No, Come For You, For Us, XX.
Uh-huh.
They are another couple that is in the Twitter chat that we're in right now. Anyway. Okay. Ba-dum-bum. So let's try to remember what
Oh, cool. Well, that's fun.
Can you just close that?
Sure.
Yeah, Shane and Rose. That's
Shane
right.
and Rose.
Yeah, we
I was just looking at it too,
that.
but I wasn't going to blurt it out if you weren't going to use it. So, yeah. Cool. Shane, Rose. What's up?
Cool.
How's it going? Welcome.
Now we're learning. All right, cool. So, where were we?
Something, ending our jobs, or starting to realize that, like, I remember you getting really frustrated a few times, like coming home, crying after being in traffic and dealing with people. And I remember saying, you know, we could just get on and like have sex in front of people online if we wanted to. And I think finally we both were just like, all right, let's do it. Let's try it.
Yeah. Well, I definitely remember. Okay, I'm trying to remember when. Like, I remember the very first time I got on solo was November. I don't know why I remember this so well because I have weird date rememberings, but it was like the November after. So November 2016. I remember I got on and I was like, oh, solo is like as easy, if not easier, than couples, and I can make almost as much. And then I remember that was what we dabbled in, and like you were more interested in the video side of things for a while there in like 2017, and I did a lot of solo camming, and you did a lot of like equipment knowledge and all that, like research, and got us up to speed with all the stuff that we have now. I felt like you were like in school in 2017.
Yeah,
and then
I
making
still feel
videos.
like I'm in school. God damn it.
And then so I remember the very first time, like on the other site, when we got taken private, and I was like, and I remember you said, baby, we're getting paid. And I was like, oh my God. I remember started making out with you, and I'm like, I'm getting paid for this. I was like freaking out. Yeah, it was really crazy.
Yeah, there was like that little like sound that would go off when somebody would take us private, and
hey, Shelly.
And I couldn't believe it that somebody was willing to pay. We thought we had like overpriced ourselves for what we were charging per hour or something, and we weren't even charging the most. We were like halfway up.
Yeah, we just couldn't believe how much you could get per hour, because we also didn't realize how much work it was, I think. You think, oh, $2 a minute or $4 a minute, that's so much money, you know, but you don't realize, like, in order to make your payout the whole day, like how much you need to make and how much. Like, you know, it's like when you very first start, you don't realize you have to like stretch out those cum shots. You can't just come like every private, you know, because you're like, fuck, I'm out of cum shots and I can't.
But after the first private, I was like, well, that's not so bad. Yeah, right,
same,
Shelly, okay.
same.
Welcome, Shelly.
I was like, this is good. I'm so glad to see you here. But yeah, I remember being like, I wasn't nervous. Actually, we have that video.
I
think we have the video of the first time, and I'm super awkward.
Positive.
I'm in like the worst outfit. We're in the worst positions. Like, we don't know what we're doing. It's so cute.
Yeah, because they did like auto recording. It was interesting. Like I remember us saving those.
I think we just started saving them ourselves. Oh, right, the site, because there was no OBS at the time. That's right.
And up my shaft effect.
Did we ever? We never faked cum shots. We did. Yeah. I remember one time that you had to fake just having sex with me. I don't remember why. But you know, it was like the doggy, the fake doggy or whatever.
Yeah, there was one time I think I faked doggy where it was just.
I don't remember what was going on.
I think I just didn't quite understand my full boundaries yet, like how to really express my boundaries, or where I was comfortable saying no, or when I had already like I think I had already come, and I was embarrassed that I had already come.
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe I was about to like maybe that would invalidate the experience for someone, and then we would get in trouble either with the site, or maybe we would like somebody would complain that we didn't do what we said we would, or something. I don't remember. I remember there being some fear around that, and but learning from that and realizing that we can design a show around communication, and we can design an experience with people where we don't have to sacrifice any of our values or any of our boundaries or any of our real desires and do anything we don't want to do or push past any real discomfort.
We decided we didn't want to fake it.
Right.
And we were just going to be like, well, we can't do that because it's not going to be real.
Because we just really aren't wanting to fake it, so.
Yeah, but I think there's a moment there where you realize, you're like in a private and you realize, oh shit, I have the opportunity to fake something right now. And I think we've all gone there, and then we've all, I think, either been like, either A, I don't like doing that, or B, I could do way better if I'm going to be faking it, or, you know what I mean? Like, I think, but it's interesting that before you know your boundaries, you kind of get pushed into, like, a fake-out moment, you know? And then you realize, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. Hi, Samantha!
Hey, Samantha, what's up? Welcome back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets in your head. You've only tried one of their sites so far, but as far as it seems compared...
Yeah, we feel the same way.
Yeah,
we feel the same way.
I think we even bounced back and forth between here and the other place, and then realized that we were really having a better time here for a number of reasons. I think like the bots and the tools that we could use were better. And then also, you know, I was really struggling with this whole, you know, people taking us into private for just a minute or two and then leaving.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
my
hard.
dick going up and down and up and down. I mean, it would take me a little while to get an erection after the third or fourth time. And then, you know, it's hard to do that negotiation between you and the person who's wanting you to be hard before you go into private, and that's not really realistic.
Right. Get him hard and then I'll take you private.
So I think we just really enjoyed this format a lot better.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, neither one of us did any of this before we met. We met in 2014, and we got our first... I think we put a video on Pornhub in 2016, and then got on the other site in 2016. Yeah, everything in 2016. So we had been together like almost 2 years at that point.
Mm-hmm. I had recorded myself on my laptop and on my webcam, and I had... like, I video chat. No, my first like webcam video chat was with you.
That's right, because I was in that country that shall not be named.
You were in another country, and she was like, I really want to be with you right now, but I'm here.
That's right.
I was like, well, I have a webcam. She's like, oh, I have a webcam.
Right.
Like, all right,
well,
cool.
that's because I had been getting into some slutty webcamery there with some of the people that I had been dating in that country that I was in. So I already knew about that because they had taught me, like, hey, we can get slutty over the old Skype-aroo there. So, like...
No, she was just on a travel visa.
Yeah, I was... No, not even a visa. I mean, I guess you get the automatic visa.
Well, auto-Euro visa. Yeah, I mean, that's still considered a...
They aren't Schengen countries. They're just... They don't give a fuck if you don't have a visa countries.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, I was in the middle of another project, doing a nonprofit situation for another country and doing some, writing, we'll just say. And, so that's where we first ever did, like, our very first, like, sexual stuff on cam. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was with each other, and then we, down the road, revisited the whole camming together.
Yeah, I think I agree, it takes a strong relationship. It has been not a trial in our relationship, but it has tried our relationship, or it's been a challenge for us that I feel like we've grown from, and we've risen to that challenge, and I'm really glad to have had it. But I think that it's a complete overhaul for your relationship in terms of not necessarily bad or good, but it's just going to change. You know, now your relationship's on camera, now your relationship's making money, now, you know, like now you're working together a lot. So was I a good tipper when we?
So for a little while there, we you know,
sexted.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to answer.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
I wanted to answer Shelly. Hubby feels pressured, so he either wants to come in like 2 seconds, and I'm like, no, keep it in, or the opposite. He can't get hard because people are watching. Totally understand. I totally.
Can I read that one a little bit?
Sure.
So that the people in here who can't read it are going to hear.
Okay.
So she says, my hubby feels pressured, so that he either wants to come in 2 seconds, And she's like, nah, keep it in. Or it's the opposite, he can't come because people are watching. Which we've definitely had I've had those issues. I think he's had those issues. I think they're really normal on CB, and I think I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's tough when you feel like there's a lot of people watching and you got to perform. So there's a couple ways that we've decided to get around that. I've decided only to cam when I'm really feeling like I want to be in a sexual space, and I'm not just doing it for money. I'm doing it because I'm kind of turned on by the experience, and I have easier access to that. I also know what it's like to be in the middle of a cam show and then do a big ticket show build up and sell a bunch of tickets to a ticket show, and then there's 1,000 people watching, and you're like, oh fuck, I got to do this thing now. So we've decided to structure those now. One way to get around that, we've decided to structure that scenario where we have more time to play with, where I can relax, I have time, I can ease into the experience, or we just stay in public and do it at our own pace and take the things off the tip menu that force me to do things right here now. And if I do put it on the tip menu, it comes with a caveat of like, I'm gonna have to wait to get hard 5 or 10 minutes, and when they tip for that, I'm gonna have to say this right now, or when they ask about it up front, we just kind of negotiate a little bit more. So yeah, I don't know. It's about the communication. It's about setting those boundaries and knowing what they are so that we can work with them.
Yeah, I know with you, there's very few up and downs before the final up and then orgasm. So we plan it out. We rarely, if ever, have BJ on the tip menu. It'll be a goal if we're going to get there, or it'll just happen because we're ready for it. And then sex will happen because we got to a goal. But we never, do BJ trying to hope to get tipped for sex or something, because you might end up having to stay hard, way longer and then you start to get that adrenal fatigue. And then, so yeah, we're really mindful about when he gets hard, because it can... There's not you just can't just be up and down all day. I mean, some people, I think younger people are able to do. I've seen some of the really really new cameras that are 18. I'm like, all right, they can go up and down, but sorry, do I remember?
Do you remember the the couple that we reached out to when we first started? And I asked the guy, I was like, hey, how many times are you fucking coming? Because it seems like you guys are doing these ticket shows really often. He was like, yeah, I come 6 or 7 times a day. And I'm like, no! No, thank you. That is not going to work for me. I'm not doing that. This job might not be for me.
Yeah. I'm not coming 6 times a day, yeah. And we actually know, and Spencer says he comes 4 times a day. But you don't, he's once a day max, right? Kind of person.
Yeah, but
unless you're having a day.
No. I can be 3 times or 4 in one day.
But that's not your natural flow. Just left to your own devices, living in the woods. Would you masturbate 3 or 4 times a day?
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
No.
But some people would be oh yeah.
I would probably be, at this point, I'm feeling more inclined to take longer breaks between sessions so that the charge builds up a little bit more, and then having multiple sessions to release that charge.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
Hence the multiple cum shots I've had even with you lately.
Yeah, when we wait, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Exactly.
Let's see. Everybody gets bored of BJ. Right. Exactly. I mean, some people, I see them on cam. They're able to do BJs for hours. And keep their room up and whatnot, but that's just not our flow, not for us. And
yeah.
So, we're the kind of people that, if the industry was only about body parts and how much you can have sex, we would not be successful.
Right.
Thank goodness we have the ability to kind of design the show however we want, and to have, moments like this where we're just able to talk, because even though... You'd think, okay, well, would you rather just have a day off, or would you rather get on and do a chat? And it's you'd think, oh, no, I want a day off. But this becomes part of my community. It is part of my community and my social life. And so if I feel it's just a give, literally a give and take, I come on and then there's tokens and we do things, and that's the only reason I'm ever here. It just, for me, wasn't, motivating me. But when I had it as a bigger part of my community, where it's like, oh, there's talking and there's this and there's that and there's crafting and there's, it makes me want to come back, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Yeah, it makes me want to come back.
Right. So I'm reading through all these. Everybody's providing really great stuff. I'm really focused on, like, how do you keep a room up in tipping?
Gotcha.
That, I think we will probably get, I don't know, like, we're not authorities on that. We struggle with that too sometimes. But all I can say is consistency is probably one of the biggest things. Being there for people, being there for your community on a semi or a regular basis, and then keep, like, variety. Be authentic and be truthful and real with your people, and try to get. Try to let your cam show be reflective of other things that you're interested in your life too, and I think all of that will be very endearing and be awesome for people and entertaining for people, and I think we can all be somewhat entertaining for others out there in a way that could be, I don't know, could keep your viewers. I don't know.
So I think that's a nice thing what he said, but I think I can get more specific for you.
Please do.
He doesn't design the token, like, hauling as much as I really strategize it, and I feel like you're like very kind in telling me that I do a good job. So I feel like I do a good job. I mean, I think you also strategize with me the tokens, but, like, it's not just being consistent and showing up, because you can do that and you get no tips.
Yeah, no,
you
of
have
course.
to know how to structure a show. You have to know. So I mean, I would definitely say
I don't think any of my
like,
points are trying to negate your points. I'm saying these are points that I think and I am able to say and speak on right now. I agree your points are very valid and very, very much, like, important to that element.
It's not that I'm trying to be like, oh, my point needs to be validated.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't want to sound like that. I'm saying more like, I don't want to give the wrong impression. They're like, oh, just show up and you'll get tips. Like, no, because Ginger helped me.
Add.
Yeah, Ginger helped me.
That's
so
fine.
like, that's what anyway, so this is, let me tell you my story. So I didn't know shit about shit, and I was just showing up, and I was trying my hardest, and I was like being all giving and loving and shit, and people were taking advantage of it. And hold on one second, okay. Come on, man. You made me stop all that for that. Trolling my talk. Alright. So, I was really thankful to have had Little Ginger Twat, or Little Ginger Little now, I think is what she's going by, as a mentor and a friend. She was the first person I ever reached out to in the industry, and I was like, what the shit? How do I do this? I suck, And she was like, okay, girl, here's what's going on. And she has all these different show plans and ideas, and she shared a lot with me, and I really don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for her, because she really did help me figure out how to move the show along. So I think her plan is her, and she does not like a plan she does every day, and I don't even know if it's exactly what she's doing these days, but in general, what her idea was really great, and it was just like the multi-goal concept of goals that are small, like really, like a 200 token, 300 token, and then 1,000, and then 500, and all over the place, right? So that people are getting a variety of different, like if they don't have a lot of money to tip, that the goal doesn't seem daunting. It's like, oh, there's a 199 goal. Like, I can get her to that 199 goal.
Sure. And
so she kind of would teach me, like, well, try nipple clamps and try. So I got some toys, and I had goals that would be like using a toy at every single goal would be like a different toy, and they were really manageable goals. And it was just like easy shit, like oil tits and play with ice on your boobs, and twerk and spanks, and of course you can do like dildoing and vibrator teases and things like that, but you'll get tired if those are every 200 tokens. So yeah, like she really helped me structure a show, and it was like, hey, plan out how many tokens you need for the show, and then come up with a variety of different goals for that and switch it up. And so like that's why I use sequence tips, because I'm not locked into my goals for the whole show. I can see how the show's going, and as it's going, I can kind of like be like, all right, it's a slow day, so I'm gonna make the goals easier to achieve, or it's everybody's tipping day, so I'm gonna make this goal a little higher. And then when I'm having trouble reaching goals, I can remind people of Snapchat and things like that they can tip for to get us to those goals. And so I try to like manage paying attention to like where we are in our goals and moving along with our goals, but I'm also not trying to constantly be annoyingly like, all right, y'all, tip, get to goal, tip, get to goal. And for me, it works to have goals and a tip menu, so they can tip for something to get to the goal. I'm not reading chat on purpose because I see it's just going.
I know.
I can't.
Are you gonna give it a break?
Yeah, but I gotta finish my. I gotta finish my line.
Right.
I'm sorry. I see your face. I see everybody. I know everybody wants to talk. Okay. But like, if I don't, like, I'm losing. Y'all are fucking with me, man.
You're doing it. I'm just waiting. You're stalling now.
So yeah. I guess now I have to stop. Okay. Now I've been officially distracted.
Jim, Cannoli Boy, Geert, thank you so much. Come for us. I appreciate the
yes,
token
thank
support.
you guys.
Thank you. Happy Monday.
Okay, so what is everybody wanting?
Thanksgiving. I don't know. We're not doing it this year, but we might do something like that in the future. We've done some Spank shows in the past. We put one up just recently on YouTube back over the summer of my birthday show. It was pretty crazy. We did some Spanks there.
Yeah, spam random questions. But yeah, so I would say that there are definitely show structures, ideas, things that you can do to make your show more interesting, like even balloon popping, prizes, giving away OnlyFans trials, giving away Snapchat, giving away videos on Mojave. On the my site, you can give away free videos with a link. So there's just a lot of great ways, I think, giving people your making content, giving it to people for roll the dice games or things like that, or spin the wheel, really good. So, all right, I'll stop talking about
ideas. So general, let's just have a variety of things, a variety of different, sort of price points for things, a variety of different goals, ways of structuring all these different, things. There's a lot of well thought out structures that people have really put a lot of effort and energy into already out there. So I don't know, you're doing a great job on networking with other cam models. That's a great way. Like she said, I think she started out by saying, hey, I talked to Ginger.
Yeah.
Well, the models that have already sort of designed the wheel.
And Ginger's a great person to watch if you guys don't know who she is. I feel like her shows are she's very varied. She has a lot of great tip menu items, a lot of great ideas, and a variety. So I think that but yeah, if you're just getting on and you see other models getting on and their goal is like every 2,000 tokens is like, oh, we hit a goal, and they're just gonna do a tease, that is not what works for most people. You're gonna have to have a goal every 199 tokens or some shit, you know what I mean, at first sometimes, to get people interested in continuing on with you. And it doesn't have to be that at 200 tokens you're dildoing your ass, but it just means that you have to stay within the amount of viewers that you have in your fan base, and what people in your room. You don't want to overwhelm people and make it seem daunting to tip for that goal.
Sure.
So
in terms of us, can we revisit the kind of how we got into this and kind of some of the things that we were either struggling with early on, or things that we needed, hurdles that we had to get over, things like that?
Sure.
So, because we're kind of getting into more the nitty gritty of actually structuring a cam show, and
that's true. We are getting off topic.
We're kind of getting away from what we were wanting to talk about. So, which is all great stuff, and we can definitely get to that stuff a little bit later. If anybody has any questions, especially some of the couples out there, about I'd love to hear what some of y'all's struggles were when y'all have things that y'all have kind of dealt with. I saw a question earlier. It was like, have y'all struggled with, or y'all have interacted with other people? I don't know if it was the question about the swingers.
What did I just say the topic you're interested in talking about?
I think it's basically just how we've decided to communicate about. Okay. I think something that I think couples need to understand is that their partner is going to be engaging with other people in this digital format. So maybe when the couple earlier, I forget who it was, I think it was Come For Us, said, oh, it's okay, we don't have any boundaries yet. And it's like, all right, well, you probably do. But
okay.
We basically had to decide that, and I think we've come to a pretty general understanding that we're both really comfortable with having whatever degree of interaction in this environment that needs to happen. But in terms of other couples out there, there's probably other ways to sort of structure that based on what works for y'all's relationship. So get that conversation out of the way, do it. Like, actually have it. Like, sit down and have these tough ones. Like, hey, I'm not comfortable when you flirt with other females, or hey, I'm not comfortable when you flirt with males this way, or hey, I'm not comfortable with you doing privates and talking to someone that way, or when you does that make sense?
Yeah. Were people saying that there was some jealousy in their couples camming? There were some issues with that? Or?
I didn't see anybody say that directly in chat. I just know for a fact I can see that with people in in most couple dynamics. There are levels of jealousy and insecurity, and they're like, oh no, that's off limits, of being with other people. You and I have had shifting degrees of things, so we're constantly having to update each other, I think, about where we are in terms of interacting with others, or
are you talking about in person or on cam?
Both.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you're just saying, in general, get your boundaries squared away, talk about it. It doesn't really matter what they are, but at least you and your partner need to know that they're there. Yeah?
Say that question one more time.
So it's just important, it doesn't really, you're just saying, get your boundaries defined and squared away.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Jason sound jelly? Okay.
It's so hard to do these talks and not and not pay attention to the trolls, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to make sure that we're not missing any legit questions. So I'm really sorry, you guys.
Jealousy is a relationship ender.
So yeah, and I don't want to go too much into the jealousy thing because again, like,
I didn't want to harp on that. I'm not trying to harp on that. That's not what I'm saying. We said it. Get your conversations about your communication and your boundaries. Just get that out of the way
so you know where you're at.
Yeah.
What were some other hurdles that we had?
Timing, what time's the day to do it.
There's like the whole want the cam tomorrow at blank time, and then someone bailing.
Yeah.
And then there's because of a variety of different reasons. So there's all that, getting used to that. You're like, oh shit, I probably need to have food ahead of time. Oh shit, I can't agree to that if I have also done these other things that day. So, we had that to work out. Oh, when you have a disagreement and the cam's on, are you going to mute it? Or maybe something that you should have muted the cam for to talk to your partner about, but you didn't, but they don't want to answer your question without muting it.
Communicating in front of others about certain things. Like, we have boundaries, and we, So that's kind of like, exactly. So, no phone. So Shelly says that no phone, super awkward. So you don't want any phone conversations with people. No big toys or getting too personal. Those are great. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, see that.
I like that, Shelly.
That's a nice variety. It's like the physical, which is the toys, not getting too personal, which is the emotional. No phone, which is again like that sort of intimate. Oh, I can hear their voice on the other end. Yeah, those are all good boundaries.
In the beginning, to get our room count up. We've mostly focused on tokens, not room count. We haven't cared about room count, so we've never really tried very hard to get the room up, other than the obvious shit. Like, we noticed that it would go up when, like, dicks were out and, boobs were out, things like that. We have continuously tried to improve the stream. So, like, microphone, better camera, better lighting, better backlighting, better making sure your fucking pillows, like, coordinate with some other party or shot, there's some turquoise there and there's some turquoise there, like all that crap like seems to just help a little teeny bit, like moving a light 2 inches, I mean, I know that sounds silly, but we've really dialed in. We watched a lot of YouTube videos on like how to set up a set.
Definitely.
And then just keeping a really positive attitude. I mean, we're not the kind of people that, for me, like, I can tell the minute I get into a room if you're a giver or a taker. Like, are you online? So I'm the viewer, right? I go in and I'm like, does this person want money from me, or is this person here to, like, spread joy, And if you have the attitude of spreading joy, I can tell, they can tell, they'll stay. They may not tip you if you're curious about the room count. Like, the more joyous you seem, the more it seems that they'll stay. But, or positive, joyous, giving. That doesn't mean that you're going to make money, though.
I like, right, yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't measure whether or not my stream experience was good based on how many tokens I brought in. It matters in some sense, but generally the days that we do well with tokens are also days that the chat flows really, really well, for instance. So
okay, yeah.
I like to get offline feeling like I had a positive, uplifting experience, and that I got to hang out and chat with other people that I care about, and that I had fun, and that I enjoyed myself. That's really what I want when I get offline. So, or when I end a stream. So I don't really, again, I'm not looking at token balance necessarily. I'm not looking at viewer count, because viewer count has never equated tokens or good chat.
I mean, it's freeloader count is really what it is. Is like, that's what you could call it, because right, it doesn't equal tokens, it doesn't equal chat, it doesn't equal a community, it doesn't equal shit. So it's like, cool, what was your freeloader count today, you know?
Mommy's turn. We have a bunch of info in the bio down below and some links to some videos we've made about our equipment.
Yeah. Also, if you just go to youtube.sexyhippies.com, you can see previous talks that we've had. We did talk about equipment one time, so we have a couple videos.
Yeah.
Let's see. That makes sense, Shelly, thinking that in your theory, you have more viewers, you get close to the front page, potential to get higher end tippers, more fans, etc. I have not seen that exact correlation, but yes, in theory, yes, you're right. You know, yes, the more people in your room, the more it's like the FOMO, like, oh, this person must be great because all these other people are here, you know. But I don't think that that's the only thing. Like, you've got to have substance in your own show. So I think there's definitely been times when I've been kind of externally, almost like grabbing, like wanting followers, wanting tokens, wanting engagement, kind of like, and it's not coming. And then when I, like, sometimes I've had days like this where I'm like, fuck, we're not making any fucking money. We sign off, and immediately, you've seen this, right? Where I'm like, and I just start working on like some new plan. Like, I'm putting everything I have into the business, into the idea, into the show. It's like we sign off, and I'm like, all right, back to the drawing board. We are redoing this show because people are not happy with it. Like, I don't sign off and then say, fuck camming. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I think taking a day that's difficult and then reinventing yourself and your show and putting it into you,
right.
Then the next day you can come back and provide more. And usually that has worked better for me rather than, I don't know, trying to figure out how to get higher to, because theoretically thinking I want more people is I want more, it's like still the taking mentality rather than a giving one. It's like, what can I give more of? What can I provide that people are going to want to come and view? Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah. Swinger girl. Yeah, we met at Exotica. You got one of our crystals. That's cool.
Hi, thank you for stopping by. You call your freeloaders your food stamp fans,
I like
Shelly.
That. I like that. You like the background? That's cool. It's you can't see like the. Well,
yeah, we don't have it.
We don't have like the awesome
right
view right now, but anyway, I appreciate that. Thank you. We put a lot of effort in.
Right, Cannoli Boy said,
That's
you build rapport with your repeat users and they're your
Yes.
substance of your room, and you just can keep growing it. But the easiest way to build a rapport with a repeat, or to have a repeat user, is to have a small room count so you can have a calm conversation going,
Right.
and you can get to know some people. So
Yep.
when my room goes over like 300 or 400, I'm always like, fuck, like now I'm gonna get. I hit it really hard, and I was like, bam! It just happened to be like a. I know, it sounded so bad. I was like, I'm just like, damn it, now I'm not going to get to like bond with people as much, and you'll feel that. You'll feel like suddenly everybody
Right.
feels all shy because they're in a room with like 400, 500 people, 600, especially when you're up to like 6,000 or 7,000 people. Forget it. Like, it's now like a zoo exhibit or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're hoping for those 6,000 viewer moments, like, I can tell you, I don't hope for that. Those are not the funnest times on cam for me at all.
Let me throw this out there.
And we don't
this
make
is
money.
yeah. I would also like to say, like, there's that theory that the theory that Shelley was just saying, something about it's not proven, but if I have more viewers, that means I can get closer to the front page, and I'll have the potential to get a higher in tippers, more fans that will come back day after day. Well, you do want to get more exposure. So we've noticed that, if you want to work that screenshot, you want your image to pop. So make sure that, you're not bleeding off the edge of your screen over here, because then your screenshot, nobody's going to show up.
They take
the middle square.
Yeah, they take the middle square. So we are literally not in the screenshot.
You try to stay in, and they refresh that screenshot every so many minutes. You're not getting an update every second of the day. They refresh that. They take a snapshot every few minutes. One screen, one shot. Sometimes they get a good one because Chaturbate has a vested interest in having nice screenshots for people. They want people to click on screens, but if you're not in high quality, if you're not streaming in HD, if your lighting is bad, and if your audio is bad, so when they come in and you sound horrible and you don't look good, they're not going to stay. So you work on staying present, getting a high quality stream going, and working that thumbnail click. So it might take, I know some people have a theory, come on, get going on something sexy, work that initial screenshot, get people in, and then set another goal, put your clothes back on, or whatever, however you want to work that dynamic, and then maybe you work up to another goal of being sexy a little bit later. So I know some people don't want to give it away for free, but then again, sometimes you have to give a little to get a little.
Yeah, so maybe you have some tip menu items that are cheap, like dildo tees with a with a dildo, sorry. With a fake dick, a dildo. Right, dildo tees, flashes, things like that will get people in the room. But they won't stay. They won't stay unless you are genuinely entertaining, and that to me has to do with energy and positivity. If I'm in a chill space or like a lower energy space, I don't have as high of a room count. And again, sometimes I don't always want a high room count.
Sure.
But yeah, if you want more people, I would say like drink a ton of coffee and be really positive, to be honest. I mean, I feel like the more like you're pushing and you're exciting and you're spontaneous and things like that you definitely get people staying. Now, I wouldn't say that necessarily gets you tipped. I think running a good show, like figuring out what your fans want to tip for, what is the amount they're willing to tip for, yeah, because some people that come in your room, I don't know, like we don't do a lot, like we like BDSM in our life, but we don't do a lot of it on cam because people don't like to tip for it. That or like workout stuff, like we don't seem to be the people that people want to tip for like the workouts and the squats.
Yeah, we've had push-ups on our tip menu for like weeks now, and not a single person has wanted to tip either one of us for push-ups. Now it might be overpriced or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing.
Or maybe we don't have the room set up for that, or we're not doing enough push-ups, so we don't look ripped enough.
Or our viewers couldn't give a flying
fuck
about us doing something. We don't attract the fucking workout people. I mean, they go to somebody else's room.
We don't attract a lot of spanks. We attract a medium amount of spanks, I think. Some people attract so many spanks, like their asses are hurt every night. Like, so, I don't know.
Exactly. I start taking those off. Then, when I put them back on, I turn them inside out.
It's okay. So you're saying you wish you were the female of the cam because you're the more positive person? But I would say that I've seen both situations where and I know we're being like really, really uncouth here, but where the male is more positive or the female is more positive, and either one. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sammy. I appreciate that.
We appreciate that. And we appreciate you guys watching and listening.
Yeah.
Yes, Pulowski did tip for squats. He's the only person, and he's probably our most close community member. He is the person who we speak with. Him and Emrod, they're both mods of ours, and I feel like it took us a long time to get Emrod and Pulowski, if you will, like we had been doing this a long time, and we saw other cam couples that had some regular viewers that were in there all the time, very loyal. We did not have that for many years, and just sometimes you don't find a fit. It's kind of like a relationship, Sure. And so finally we found a fit, and now we have Pulaski. We love him so much. But sometimes you will find people that you're like, okay, now we're best friends, and we're gonna send each other stuff and call each other at home and that kind of thing. So.
Sammy, I was just looking at your profile. We already follow you.
Yay!
We've seen you before.
Oh yeah.
Welcome.
We did no mods for a long time until we were very sure that the person, like, I would say have no mods rather than bad mods. There's really no need to have a mod, to be honest. I actually don't need them. I keep them. My mods are around because of either ticket shows that are very helpful, or because there are people that are in my chat a lot, and I don't want them to have to suffer through bullshit in chat while I'm dildoing myself way back there and I don't have access to the mouse. That's pretty much it. It's like for their own benefit, you know. It's like they're in my room that much that I'm like, I'm sorry that there's riffraff here, you just take care of it, if, you know. So that's it. And they don't like really, they don't beg for tips, they don't really, you know, bother people, like they don't, you know, like they're not, you know, mod assholes. But I would say like there are a lot of people on Chaturbate who want to mod just so they can have free things, or and they just
sense of power.
Yeah, a sense of power, and I don't need that. So you don't need that either. You can just, you know, it's a pain in the ass to like scroll and then right click and get them away, but you can do it yourself.
Is that a Freudian slip? The campers.
Every time that I write camper,
I know a lot of campers.
I get canner or camper for every time I type it in my phone. Canning and camping. Canning and camping.
Sammy, did you fangirl? I kind of fangirled for a second too.
I
was like, oh, she's coming to say hi. That's good.
Yeah. So, you guys are so cool. I'm having so much
You look
fun.
better in purple anyway, Cannoli. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I would. In fact, some of the top models who have regularly like 7,000 to 10,000 people in the room refuse to have mods because there's a lot of drama with mods.
Cooking, Bacon, Naked. I don't think they have any mods.
And I don't think
no mods. They do, man.
Ryder. I think Ryder got rid of her mods.
They're solid with chat staying pretty.
Yeah, Cooking, Bacon, Naked's a really great example
groovy.
of cammers who are, you know, killing it on Chaturbate right now. Don't have mods, don't cam with other couples, don't swap, don't do a whole lot of, like, they don't do a prolific, they have videos, but they don't do them prolifically. They just cam, and they make the most interesting and fun shows, if you ask me. I don't have the amount of energy that they have to put into their shows, or maybe I just choose it to put it somewhere else. But if you want ideas for great quality, great show ideas, and, you know, people who are not doing what everyone else is doing in the sense of like collabing and things like that, Cooking, Bacon, Naked is really good. It's bacon with no, it's cooking with no G. Cooking,
so.
Bacon, Naked. Yeah. The rest of it's spelled right, just not.
You're a mod somewhere, right? Are you mod raging? That's good stuff.
Mod raging. Yeah, Cannoli Boy mods places. I've seen him around in red.
Right. Shh. Right? Nah. Nah, fam.
But he's a good mod. Yeah, Cannoli Boy's a decent mod. Lamar is one of our mods that he's a good mod.
Lamar is like master level mod. He really is though.
Master.
Well, he's got all the codes and quick keys and knows all the functions.
Yeah, Lamar's also not. Yeah, Lamar's in a different category. That's like professionals. But I don't know. But
professor level or something.
Professor, there you go. But anyway, but yeah, no, and I'm so grateful, so grateful that we have the people on Chaturbate who want to be there often and, you know, mod for people, and then there's just the people that really want to come and just kind of jump around and tip people, and then there's people who kind of do half and half, and it's just and it's all because they want to. And I just think that's so great. Like, every time that anybody's on Chaturbate or anything's happening, it's all because everybody wants to be there. You know, because I guess I used to teach school, so you had to be in my class. You had to do this stuff. And I was around people all day who had to be there. And it's not as good of a feeling. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me just make sure we get this one last question answered that I have on our list. And then we can kind of go off on whatever tangent. So I just wanted to say that a lot of people ask us how we got into this. We've kind of answered it. It's like, how or why did you stay? So the how, we've sort of answered, like, all these strategies and ideas of how to make enough money so that you can actually support yourself. But I don't feel like we've really answered the why. Like, why did you choose to say, you know what, I'm not going to do any more massages, and I'm not going to do, all the other jobs and ability, and when other work comes up, why do you say no? Why are we still doing this?
I have found a platform for me to express myself in a way that, like my drums is a great reason why I've stayed. I get to, no, it's not about the money. It's really just that I get to like hang out and express myself in a particular way that I haven't found any other place to do that. Get to sort of share my interests with people that also share some of those interests, and it's a place where people can sort of I don't know, it's a way for me to connect with people and make the world seem a little smaller. I get to learn. I'm sort of forcing myself. It's forcing me to learn about a bunch of pieces of technology that I've really been curious and wanted to learn for a long time, but never really knew how I was going to apply it. And now I'm like, oh wow, I have a place to apply it.
That's a good point. Yeah. Like it's definitely, I would say that it's, for me, it's a big meshing of skills, and there's stuff I've wanted to do.
I was gonna say, do you play drums? I was gonna see if I could see them, but my drums are right.
Okay.
My drums are right here. Sorry.
So I guess the reason I have stayed is because I felt really unheard. I felt really unlistened to and underappreciated as a teacher, both by the students, by the parents, by the administration, and by the state who funds education. So for me, and the kids are always like, and you're like, hey, fucking pay attention to me. And it was just really nice to get on here and realize, oh, that's where all the kids are. That's where everybody is. Everybody's on so if I want people's attention and I want to teach, then I have to teach through here. Okay. So I like, side note, you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't do it for the money, and I don't do it for the sex. I do it because it's a rogue way of teaching, to be honest. Like, I get access to so many more people, all voluntarily, who want to hear something that I have to say. And I also have a way to do the jack of all trades teaching, because like at schools I was never able to do, like, oh, let's do Spanish, and then international affairs, and then cultural studies, and then history, and then ethnomusicology, and it's like nobody has a degree for all that. So I'm able to be that weird, like, I was just rejected from the universities and the research and everything, and now I can do whatever the fuck research I want and spew all the knowledge, and there's actually people that want to hear it, and it's actually reaching more people. So that's the main reason I do it, is because I want to lead by example. I want to show people that that there are ways to ease suffering, I guess. So I actually don't do it for the money or for, like, I'm realizing that now. I don't do it. Wow. I don't do it for the money or because it's, like, it's slutty and it feels good. I mean, those are all things, but okay.
Bye, Cannoli. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I had a good time tonight too.
Thank you for stopping by.
Appreciate that.
We love you. And yeah, so, and also because it challenges me. Because I'm able to do all these teaching things. It's like, I guess with all that great freedom of being able to have this platform and you get to, like, display whatever you want on it, then you also... Sorry, it's so hard to keep my train of thought going. Hey, Alexa! I'm sorry, I don't remember what I was saying. I have to go like this because it's when you react to the chat, then I know something's happening, so I have to not look at you and I have to not look at chat.
Well, you're going on these, you're saying these long-winded things, and then
then chat
goes away, and I don't want everyone to feel totally ostracized. Yeah. So if we can maybe take a breath and touch base and then come back.
I can't though. I'm losing it. So
all right.
I guess maybe I'll have to record parts of this some other time, like when there's not. I guess it's not the right format.
That's what I think.
Because I'm trying to, like, I'm having such a hard time remembering the things that I want to say, and I have the notes, and I can't do it. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
This is just going to be a bitch to edit.
So I think this is well, it's a good conversation that I think has its place live.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting a lot out of this just from being able to chat with others and hear some of their ideas and some of their feedback about experiences they're having. And we're getting to talk about it. It seems like some other people are supportive of that. So I think it's doing its thing.
Yeah, like it's
I just
fine.
don't
it's
think in terms of our future plan of recording it and putting it out there later, edit it all,
yeah,
chopped
it
up
doesn't
and
look
neat.
good.
It might take some extra work. I don't think it's a total.
Yeah.
Like we won't be able to just go, oh, no editing, put the whole thing out there, because then they're going to be watching this part and they're going to be like, why am I watching this?
Well, it's the same shit. Okay, it's the same shit as like me trying to do a squirt when we have foursome shows. Like, bad idea, because it's like sometimes I need total silence. I need chat to not do anything. I need you to not pay attention to chat in order for something to happen on live cam. And that's just not like, unless it's really discussed, especially with my partner, because it's really, no offense, like, to be a bitch or anything, but like it's him looking at chat that's bothering me. If he could ignore it with me, we'd all be okay, because I could ignore you, but it's him, and I see him reacting, and I see him trying to like be nice to you guys and like keep you in the loop, and so that I'm like, I can't. So that's definitely something that we've dealt with, where one person's one person's really trying to get something out, the other person's trying to manage chat. Everyone feels unheard. So if that's happening in your relationship or in your shows, or especially when you have group shows, like, I think that's normal. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Of like having these plans and then it doesn't go that way because you're now on live chat. And
yes,
I
think you can have the best plan you've ever come up with for getting on your live stream, and at the end of it, you may have just actually had the best show ever.
Yeah.
But you look back at your plan that you had.
Yes, exactly.
It's not going to look like that at all.
Yeah. This is not going according to plan.
You're like,
God damn it. But we're fine. Like, we're fine. Thank you, Clay Lager. Thank you, guys. You're so
What
nice.
is the Steve-O? I've seen that comment twice.
I did it really loud again.
That's the Steve-O.
I've got like the right palm face thing going on right now.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice.
But yeah. So
I used to play with her on a separate account a long time ago. I don't do it anymore, but I used to.
Oh yeah. What was your name?
I had a few like rando extra.
Oh yeah, you were Sweetwater. That's right. Sorry, I just outed you. I outed you. Yeah, he used to be Sweetwater. That's right. He modded for me.
I don't think anybody remembers that. I don't think any of these folks were.
Yeah, that was when I was doing, like, you were in the researching phase and I was doing solos.
That was Sweetwater.
And then you were. That's how we learned that mods were drama, because you were the drum.
Yeah.
Like, you just were too protective of me or something, and it was like totally a turn off.
Right.
The room was like,
right.
Yeah,
Steve-O. Yeah, the Steve-O smile.
Oh, the Steve-O smile. I thought this was the Steve-O.
Yeah, I remember the tattoo. That was good stuff. I watched an interview with him recently. He realizes that he did some fucked up shit, and that all of that was fucked up.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Steve-O.
I mean, I know, but I don't know like what you're talking about, like with the stuff he did that fucked up. And
oh, just some
coffee.
HTML? No.
No! Oh my god, that has been such a hard thing. I have. Yeah, it's okay. Like, can I try this last sip? Okay, cool. I have Googled it and back whatever people's HTML. Like, I've definitely had the hardest time making a profile on Chaturbate. I don't know what to tell people. I know other people have figured it out way easier. I don't HTML it. I learned how to create a photo, put the photo on Imager, and then reference the photo with HTML. But yeah, there's like some sites where you can go and you can like attempt it and it'll show you, but I have spent hundreds of hours on our CB bio, and I have asked so many people for help. I have been disappointed in everybody's help, everybody's suggestions, solutions. Like, I've paid for bio builders.
Yep.
I have everything. Everything has been really difficult with that. Right now, we're hosting images, and that's the best that I have figured out how to do.
New Chloe. We learned a lot from Chloe.
Yes, we have learned a lot from Chloe.
Learned a lot from Chloe. She's been solid.
Learned English to learn HTML.
For sure. Actually, I think it's been like a month since I've seen one of her streams. I don't think she's been on lately.
Yeah, she hasn't been on.
Yeah, in terms of setting the bar for quality, that's what I aimed for. I aimed for Chloe's stream. That's what I wanted, and that's what I think we feel pretty good. I mean, we don't have the house structure that she has. She's always in really nice, like, well-lit, natural light houses and stuff, but yeah. In terms of 4K and
right, in
things
terms
like
of
that, audio quality, like, we've definitely tried to follow her model in terms of quality.
For sure. Yeah, I just don't think we're as polished as she is as a person, so we don't come off as
a person?
Yeah, like, we're, like, hairy. She wears, like, cute outfits that are, like, from news stores, and she puts on makeup, like, you know, like a proper, like you know, and we're, like, hairy hippies, like, no makeup, like,
not as polished as
yeah,
Chloe.
we're just, you know, like, I feel like she has good
right.
posture. She, like, constantly has good posture, and I'm like, I don't really have that kind of posture. Exactly.
Her beard's not as polished as mine.
Yeah, that's right. Her beard's definitely not as gangsta, but
I said polished.
Yeah, but definitely like watching other cam couples has been helpful. And then also I think it probably is valuable to talk about briefly that we have told a lot of our friends, we've told some of our family, we've been completely rejected by my family. We just have other reasons for not talking to his family. Most of our friends have accepted this very well and have been incredibly supportive.
Yeah.
Most randos, like people that we end up needing to tell, like maybe our next door neighbors or, you know, some other person that's of our age group, they all take it really well. We have no desire to let my grandparents know. I don't think that age group could even conceive of it, you know. I would expect my parents to at least be able to, like, process and comprehend, but they kind of went the way of the church, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
and we've gone to a lot of porn and parenting classes, and we've talked to a lot of people who have kids, we're interested in having kids. As far as we have understood, and I can give you some great resources.
I was just about to say, come for us. Like, there's a couple that y'all need to follow for sure. Jasmine and Noir, King Noir and Jet Setting Jasmine. They're both definitely, like, you know, great examples of sex positive parenting. They lead and teach sex positive parenting classes and seminars. And they also create really great content, and they go to live shows and conferences, and they travel, and they network with their community to help figure things out, and they're great examples. So if you
and they have kids in high school as well as they just had a new baby, so they've got them all, and they've had to deal with the porn the entire time of the kids growing up. So they've had their kids be bullied because of what they do, then they've dealt with it. They've had just all kind of things they've kind of dealt with. But their point is just like, hey, if this is what mom and dad are doing to pay the bills, and there's nothing shameful about it. This is how they're putting food on the table. They're doing it in a respectful way. They're adults. They're allowed, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of owning, like, hey, this is what I do, and no, you're not going to shame me for it. And then, of course, just sharing with them what you're doing when they ask questions, and you share with them the appropriate age level knowledge, right? So at first it's mom and dad make adult videos. No, you can't know anything about it. They're for adults, you know?
Right.
There's nothing about that until very, very long into it. And then it's like...
One of their daughters had a really great response to some kids talking about them being exposed. So one of their kids had a friend come up to them at school and say, hey, I saw your mom or your dad's stuff, whatever. And she was like, oh yeah? How old are you? You're not old enough to be consuming that content, so what you're doing is not legal, basically, you know? Kind of throwing it back at her like, hey, look, like, that's an adult thing. We're kids. Like, that's not even...
you shouldn't be fucking with that.
Yeah, it's not even for you. You're not even supposed to have that. Like, so you're breaking the rules and breaking the laws to... So that's
like 16 to 18 years was like when they're going to have to be using that response. And then before that, it's just mom and dad make videos, mom and dad make content, mom and dad have our, you know, media But I don't think, you know, to just completely, as far as what our decision is for potential future children, as well as what we think is working with other people, is it's not a total lie. It's not like mommy and daddy are doing processing, you know, payment processing at night or something like that. It's not. It's the truth that is appropriate for their level every year, and then there's a lot of management that you're going to have to do to keep them away from it. Locking rooms, having padlocks on areas where, you know, where sex toys are, making sure they do not find your stuff before they're, you know, 18, because it can be very, very traumatizing to find your parents' porn or videos or things like that.
I did. I found mine.
So you got to make sure that you really
that was weird.
Take that effort, get the babysitter, keep them out of the house. They're going to be able to hear you. So it's more about, you know, making sure that there's a clear understanding. Hey, mom and dad do this thing. You can't hear it. So we need you to go on to this person's house. You know, you don't have to be sneaking. You can be very clear about what's going on. Like, you guys can't be here while we're working. So this is why this, and we do that, and you're going to go here while... So, right, you're not allowed to come in. You know, we have this office. This is mom and dad's office. You cannot enter. You know, you cannot go in that closet, whatever.
Right.
So, but... You know, that's all part of, I think we all sort of have this ability to create an environment where we have less sexual shame for ourselves, for our families, for our communities. We are on Chaturbate. We're here. We're out with our exhibitionism. So let's be proponents of like sex positive behavior, you know, and raise our kids to understand that it's okay and it's normal, and this is a normal job. It's a respectable job. We're putting food on the table, and so you have no need to question it. Everything's fine. Like, bills are paid. Shut your face. You know? They have better things to worry about. They really shouldn't care much about what's going on until they're old enough to actually know what's going on. They should have, like, process and development-wise, they have other shit they're worrying about. You know?
Right.
As long as you're honest with them. So.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, you'll have to do what you need to do, you know? Put some fans or some soundproof blankets or whatever. Cam in the garage,
white
kids
noise.
Aren't allowed in, like, yeah, all that, for sure. I'm really proud of y'all for all making the effort to do that and make it happen. I really think that's great.
That person comes around a lot saying the same thing, like different versions of that name. It's interesting. I know. It's
moving on. Nothing to say here.
Like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so I think just being honest about what you're doing, not being ashamed, and that goes for anybody. You know, if you want to go somewhere and get something printed, you're like, hey, can I print this? It's for my thing, and this is, you know, if you have some questionable stuff on there, like, you don't have to be sneaky snake all the time, like you're doing some bad job. Like, this is legal. You're paying taxes. Like, you're you know, like, and even if you weren't doing something legal and you weren't paying taxes, you're still like your life is your business, you know, and as long as you're providing a good environment for your children and your family, then there's really nothing you need to worry about. Right, unfortunately, yeah, you can't do the screaming, squirting orgasm. Like, I don't know what to do when we have kids, and my whole show is all about how loud I am, so it's like, oh crap.
Come for us, I wish I could ban them at the same time, right? Isn't that funny? Wouldn't that be funny if you could just, like, copy paste over people? I think you can.
You can copy that name and go into. I do it all the time.
Yeah, dude. If somebody's acting a fool in somebody else's room, copy their fucking name, ban them in your room too. Fine, good riddance.
I do it all the time. Yep. Trump's really fucked
dude,
now.
right? Just go ahead and start a blacklist and be like, here's the blacklist, people. Copy paste.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to type it. You have to, like, copy paste it. You have to go, and then you have to log into yours, broadcast yourself, go into the little toggle thing. Go down to ban, you know, add ban. Then you have to add them as a ban. Then you have to make it permanent. It's super annoying, but you know, you can do it.
No, I thought I meant to do this right here. Do that, and I'll pull this back up. Boom.
You gotta double click that again.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Hi, Effie's room. Thank you so much for coming in. That's a good point. I'm sorry, I forgot you guys' names. Is it Shane and, well, Come For? It's hard when your names come for in the...
Shane and Rose.
Shane and Rose. Okay, I was right. Shane and Rose. Okay, cool. Awesome, thank you. Soundproof, it's unattached. So yeah, so it thinks that you got everybody's kind of squaring that away how they need to. Shit, I mean, if you're in Europe, like, I mean, we're here in like, you know, Georgia, like every house is huge and then tons of space between the next house. But a lot of people live in smaller areas and they can't just be screaming like that, you know. So I think the consent and the appropriateness goes for everybody. You know, your neighbors, the old people, the young people, the kids, you know. Your own kids, the neighbors' kids, everybody needs to be kind of like protected because sex is not for everybody. Now, it's hard. It's hard to like make that distinction of like, hey, we're gonna quarantine our job from younger people who it might traumatize, but I'm not doing anything bad. Like that's hard to. So you got to remind yourself every day that you're not doing something bad. It's just something that's age appropriate, and that other ages and other, you know, styles of life, it's just not appropriate for them, and they don't want to be partaking in that.
Right. Are you gotcha. Come for us? Are you asking what our setup looks like?
Nice.
Or someone else's?
Yeah, that's a good question. What's our setup?
We could switch over to this one and show really easily.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to. Let's see if we can switch over to this other camera and show you guys what we have here. We also have, let me put the link in chat of all our gear so you can actually read what these products are, and then you'll have a little bit of a better idea because, you know, just like looking at it, you might be like, wait, how do I screenshot? Here's the list of our stuff. Wait, really? Did it just do that?
What's up?
That's weird. Look, it like added a space. Like, there's no space after the we before the use daily. That's weird.
That is weird.
There's no space in that URL. You want me to switch over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. All right. So we didn't white balance this camera, so it's gonna look really blue.
Yeah, we're gonna look like we're sick.
But this is where we're sitting now.
Pew pew. So, yeah, we've got this box light. Oh, it's kind of hard to see, but...
yeah, it's auto exposure.
I mean, we've got our little chairs. We've got 2 desks. This is our Sony A7R3, and that's the Yeti mic. That's a broken Yeti behind it.
We just got the Elgato Stream Deck.
That's exciting.
We haven't fully programmed it yet, but we have some stuff set up, so we can like mute the Yeti mic right here. We can mute our desktop audio. We can start and stop recording. We can cue our outros.
Oh, that's what that one is at the bottom. Start and stop recording.
It's not.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
We should probably put text on it. But...
And then you know, we have some studio monitors. Have a little secondary monitor right here that we can.
And then over here we have...
we can put things on. There's our main computer.
We built this computer, and then we also have this laptop over here that we use when we go to like conventions or we stream elsewhere.
Right. And can you turn that off? Because I can't actually show it.
I'm totally realizing that right now. We've got something up on YouTube. Hold on. All right, there we go.
There you go.
So this is the second little computer. And we've got our little organizing. We've got like tons of whiteboards and lists everywhere.
Does our DSLR overheat? This I know it's a technicality. It's kind of. It's a mirrorless. DSLRs are still a thing, but for live streaming, you're going to see mirrorless most of the time, I do believe. But no, it doesn't. It does not overheat. There are some out there on the market that have overheated in the past. This is the Sony Alpha body with, it's an A7R3. As far as I know, any of the Sony Alphas, the A6300, the A9, or the A7 IIIs, whatever, they don't seem to overheat. We also cam in our basement, and it's relatively cool down here, although we do have a heater on behind us. And that's blowing this direction.
That's hella helpful.
We have streamed places and this thing has gotten warm, but it's only feeling a little bit warm right now. It's not hot, but we have streamed for like, well, when we were out in Texas last year, we streamed for 24 hours, and we used the Sony, so it can go till whenever.
Yeah, I mean, Colin and Lily have said that they've accidentally left theirs on. We left ours on. Like, it was not a problem. Like, after the stream. Now, I know that's not the same thing because you're not streaming, but I just feel like the Sony's, like, it's a great one.
Be careful, don't shit
Don't do too much!
Yeah, I know, you know, there's, you know...
No,
it's so weird, like, the little things that we might get in trouble for, like, there's photos of people, and, like, oh, gosh.
Yeah.
You know? It's really pretty wild, like, we've even tried to, like, be really mindful about all the stuff in the room, too, just...
It is. I mean, we're good. Other than, I mean, we're fine for snapping the room. It's we don't normally Chaturbate the whole room. You know what I mean? Like.
Now you have our address. I don't think you saw our address over
No,
there,
yeah, we're good about that shit. It's funny. Over time, it's like basically any public note on the board or anything. It now is Jason and Melissa.
Yeah.
Jason, like our real names are nowhere.
Yeah.
If I even see my real name in this house, I'm like, that's so awkward. Like, what if someone sees that? You know? So yeah, like it's weird. It's weird. I take mail and immediately flip it upside down. Like I don't know. So our house is just pretty much ready to be snapped. You know,
most of the time.
Most of the time, we try to keep it that way. Now, granted, I don't want to like show a bunch of mess all the time, and it's not because I'm like, oh, I want to act like I'm the kind of person who keeps things clean. It's because no, like we're providing an entertainment. Okay, it's not fucking fun to look at everyone's dirty laundry all the goddamn time. Like I'm not. I can look at my own dirty laundry. So like, I prefer. Beauty is a thing. We all like to look at beauty. We like symmetry. We like colors. You know, we like things to look clean. So I try to make my colors look nice and my things look clean. You know, because it's entertainment. But it's not because I'm embarrassed to show you guys. It's just because I don't find it fun. Like,
we're not embarrassed. It just doesn't add any value to our show. We think when we have it in a more mindful presentation, it's received much, much better.
Yeah, like, but days when we're having
viewers.
cleaning fests, we'll show you what we're about to clean, and then we'll show you we cleaned it. Yeah, it's not a DSLR, it's a mirrorless camera. Yeah, exactly.
So digital single lens reflex camera is what DSLR stands for, and mirrorless doesn't have the mirror that comes up and down and reflect the image back up to an eyepiece. It has a digital image. It shows you a screen. When you look through the eyepiece, I see a digital screen.
Oh, that's why it's called mirrorless. I never knew that. See?
Yeah.
So division of labor. He does certain aspects of the job. I do others. I don't know a lot about the new technology or why everything works the way it works. I just learned to use it how we need to use it, and he does the majority of the rest of it. So, like, on the Stream Deck, I'm not incapable, but I can figure out how to program this. But generally speaking, that would be something that Jason would take on. I will learn how to use it, but he will learn really how it works, you know?
Well, you want to add any weirdness from being Mel and Jason so much?
Such a good question.
That's a great question. There has really been absolutely nothing negative about like just the name Jason or me taking on a different name. In the sort of in our community, in the group of people that we like to go and do our festivals with and all, they all call me a different name that's not my regular name. I have a nickname I've been going by for a long time, and I just, you know, I can hear that as my name, you know, I can hear...
His name is fucked anyways.
I can hear Jason. It doesn't bother me that much. It does give us an opportunity to kind of like play with that as an idea of like, that's not... Like, Jason is this other person sometimes. Like, sometimes I am, like, the person, my given name. And then other times I'm, like, my festival burn name or my, you know, my community name. And then there's other times when I'm Jason. And Jason has and most of the time it's... Jason's just a version of me, a particular hat that I wear, but it's me. It's just a version of me. It's an area of my existence that is there and it's real.
It's like when you have a nickname that only your family calls you. It's the same shit. It's like when we're here, it's Jason. Even when I'm talking to my own friends and I talk about you editing, I'm like, Jason's editing a video today.
Yeah, but I express myself in a way that is Jason on here. Okay. I think so. I think I'm Jason when I'm online. I'm not necessarily Jason all the time.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would just say that there's because of the caveat I said before that we are entertainers, right? When we put ourselves in this position, we're entertaining. I will leave out some aspects of my personality that are not as entertaining. So I don't come to Chaturbate for my mental health needs. I don't tell you guys all the things I'm struggling with and ask you for help.
Right.
That's not an appropriate place for me personally to be working that out.
Right.
So it's not. So I don't share. So you guys don't see me when I'm breaking down. You don't normally see me if I'm having a panic attack, because I don't. That's not the way I would like to entertain. And it's doesn't really seem to help me personally to work through my issues like that, publicly.
Right.
I have no problem telling you like later on what I struggled with and what I went through, but in the moment, when I'm all irrational, like it's just not really necessary.
Right.
So I would say that's the only part of me that you don't see, as Melissa. It's just like you don't see me working out really like all the negative shit. But the people like Pulowski has seen the full me because he's been around long enough to see those negative moments and the crying and the sadness and things like that. So I think he kind of has a different perspective. Just depends on how much you know us, I guess.
Digital nomads?
We wish. I think we're too old. I don't know if that's a thing. Is that
maybe not as like a full-time thing, but we're very much incorporating the elements into our life currently. We are digital nomads. We are part-time digital nomads. Part-time. And I say that because we're really looking into sustainable ways to provide content on the road. And we have already made a very strong effort to look into how we can release or work on or provide content and travel with all of our gear and know that when we get there we're going to be able to live stream, for instance. So we've put a lot of effort into going out and streaming and providing content other places in the world. So it feels like we're already kind of doing the digital nomad thing without necessarily making it like a full-time thing. We're kind of dabbling.
But this is why, because we have 2 doggies and you can't take them everywhere. So we are going to be as digitally nomadic as we can with the dogs, and the fact that we really do have a wonderful community that we love very much and we want to be around them too. So we want to pay rent in this town because we like our people and we like our dogs to have a safe spot. So until we have enough money to pay this rent and then travel a whole lot, we won't be that nomadic. But we try to get out and about as much as we can.
You guys have good internet in PDX? Nice. So you're in Portland.
We were in Portland.
Cool.
That sucks that we didn't know each other then or meet you.
Cool. Do they have aliases? No, we just give
Isn't
away
that funny?
Man, we dox them all the time.
They're totally doxed. Because and we could have, they would have learned another name, like no problem. But it's so funny. They're the only thing. Like all our friends, Brian's name is not really Brian and everything like that. But the dogs are really their names. And I've asked other cammers, I'm like, is that their name or is that just their name on cam? And they're like, no, that's just their name.
No, that's just their name.
Like everybody tells you their real animals' names, I think.
Yeah. We don't really put them like all over Facebook and stuff, so we don't. They're almost more a part of like our camming life and our adult presence, especially like on Instagram and stuff. That it's not going to be like a point of vulnerability for us or something. They don't have a bunch of papers, like a paper trail out there or anything. So
I don't even know how much of a big deal it is about the real name thing. I know models who've been doxxed, models who've been harassed. I know people who just give no fucks and just say it. They give no fucks
and they're totally fine.
Yeah, they're like, my real name's this, but they write their other names on their bio or whatnot.
That's good. You don't care. So, perfect. Great.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't give a shit and it doesn't matter. And nobody seems to have cared or found us or stalked us or I don't even know if people have time anymore. There's so much shit on Netflix. So much shit on Netflix to binge. Like I don't know if they're stalkers anymore.
Yeah, we have fucked up before.
And if they want to find you, they will.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That my little fucking other name thing ain't gonna do shit.
That's exactly right.
Ain't gonna do shit.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's best to just, hedge your bets a little bit.
Right. I have, the times I've slipped up, I've definitely regretted it. What we've tried to do is come up with like.
I haven't regretted it necessarily, but.
Well, you're just like, dang it.
Yeah. You made it sound like something happened.
I was just saying, she said, I said mine, but I regret it. And I said, yeah, I kind of regret it too, but I understand that it's a mistake. We also try to find ways, like, whatever your name sounds like, you know, like coming up with a phrase that would be similar, you know, like, to try to pretend like that's what you said or something. I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to think of an example that's not my own name, so. There you go. Oh, damn. Julia is like, mint juleps, I mean. Like, that's the kind of thing I would do. Juleps are my favorite drink. So, yeah, but, you know, I think the most important thing to do is just, like, if you say someone's real name on cam, don't go, like, Brian, I mean, Jordan, you know, like, don't do it like that, you know, like, because when you go, I mean, and then everyone knows, okay, the previous name was the real name.
Right,
so.
Right. If you just roll with it, I think some people don't think about it or even realize that's what they just heard, or...
They're like, hey, Kevin, hand me that thing, and it's like...
Or maybe there's a nickname or an inside joke or something that people don't know about, and it's... Yeah. You know, it's your first name, it could be your middle name, it could be...
That's a good point, right. It's like, if they say blah, blah, I mean blah, blah, you know.
Whatever.
So. Well, yeah. Right, and that's something Samantha's saying. She got close to a cam couple. It's so funny knowing their real names, and now cannot call them by their real names.
Reese's peanut butter. Reese's peanut butter.
Sometimes I get, like... I have this weird space in my head for your real name and your hoe name. And then, you know, and then sometimes it depends. Like, if my brain will solidify it and go back and forth very, like, fluidly, then that's cool. But if it doesn't, I will cut your real name out of my life, and I will only say your hoe name because I don't want to fuck it up. And there's certain people that I can't, like, we definitely call them by either their real name or their hoe name, and, like, it's just, yeah. Sometimes and then some people want their real name, and I can't fucking remember to do it because I'm like, your porn name is so good.
Nice.
Like Anna Havana. Yeah. I love her fucking name. Like, that's not her name, but her name is so good. I'm like, your name is Anna.
She gave it to herself as a handle when we drove semis. That's cool.
I didn't make up hoe name. I learned that from conferences. Apparently, it's like a real thing. In my phone, people who are cammers will be like, their cam name / real name. Oh, so I guess if my phone rings, then they're gonna get outed. Shit. Nuh-uh! 68. He says, I've built houses in my lifetime, and I was in another room and recognized the kitchen that the couple was camming in. Like, you recognized, like, you were in a kitchen doing work on it, and you recognized it from a cam show, is what you're saying?
What? Nuh-uh. That's kind of like
maybe?
It's like all the owners of the Airbnb stories, or of the Airbnb locations. Like, there's these websites now that have the, hey, I found this on
Reddit.
Reddit has like a I saw my Airbnb on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Channel or some
like
shit.
A thread for you to be like, to like go and commiserate with other Airbnb owners whose places have also been used for porn, non-consensually. It's like, oh, so sorry that you also had, you know, you were also victimized by the Airbnb porn.
Did you do the redo of the actual couple and you just didn't remember the couple, but you remembered the kitchen, or was it like a previous house, or maybe these people were renting and you did the work for the owner?
That's insane, 68.
Like.
That's insane.
That's pretty interesting, though. And you probably studied it for a while, and you're like, yep, that's got to be the one. Because I know we're in a neighborhood where, I'm not going to say every house on the street looks like ours, but like, they're all similar styles. There's probably 5 or 6 different versions of houses in this neighborhood from like the 60s.
That's such a good idea. You should write in invisible ink all over the kitchen and wait for a blacklight show. And he's like, 68 single white male PA was here.
Right. Wow. You could totally fuck with people.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Oh my god, dude. Hide little gems like that? We should do that. We could hide little gems like that in this place when we move out someday.
Oh, and it'll like,
Mm-hmm. Right.
But a lot of times they repaint the whole place when you move out, so you'd have to like, if you're gonna, it's like you could put maybe anyway on the ceiling maybe. You saw a post in a cleaning group, a woman asking advice on cleaning oil off linens and furniture. She was an Airbnb.
I saw a post in a cleaning group. A woman was asking advice on cleaning oil off of her linens of furniture. She was an Airbnb host. Yeah, right?
Ew. Cum works well if you don't have the ink. I've never actually tried it. The cum, and then you see
the... don't have the ink. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean...
Exactly. Do we need our basement redone? I wish we owned. I wish we owned and could do that.
We would take you up on that if we owned this.
We love this house. We keep living here, and we keep trying to buy it from the landlord. He won't sell it to us.
No.
And he won't fix stuff. So we're just in this constant battle of like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll move when we have tons of money. Eat a lot of oily foods. Well, I think
who was the comedian? There was oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think this has been. You can.
Who's the comedian that was like, something black lights? Was he talking about disco bowling or like cosmic bowling? And he was like, I'm the only one who didn't enjoy the cosmic bowling because I was not aware that the mustard stain did not come out of my shirt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because the mustard stain or the cum stain was all over his shirt, but he had washed it and didn't fully come out. And then when he went cosmic bowling, it was like the stain was all on the shirt because it was like...
Oh my god, that's good.
Be careful going cosmic bowling.
Alexa.
I can't remember. If it was like Mitch Hedberg or something. I think it might have been Mitch Hedberg. I can't remember.
So funny.
I was under the impression the mustard stain came out of my shirt. Anyway.
I probably didn't get it because there's a lot of like cum...
Adult innuendo like that?
No, there's male masturbation jokes that I don't get. I'm just starting to get them because of thanks porn. Like, I just wasn't as in touch with stuff and male masturbation habits as I am now. Anyway, I think it's been a great talk.
Yeah, I do too. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out and chit-chatting with us. Does anybody have any other questions for us or things that you wanted us to touch on before we sign off? Yeah, I know. I'm still learning so many terms and fetishes. And I feel like you are too. It makes me feel better because I thought, oh, maybe it's just because I didn't watch a lot of porn before I started this. But he was like, nah, like I don't know half this stuff.
just a big
white
like spot right on your face.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Pulaski. I love you.
Jim, thanks for stopping in.
Always. I just learned what BBC meant. Hey, when I learned what JOI was, I was like, woo, that sounds fun. Yes, we need to start doing the picture-in-pictures with another stream. I would really like to do that, actually. So, anyway. But yeah, the next one we're going to do, so we're doing the Beyond Sexy Hippies thing. We have Pornversation, Just the Tips, and My Story. So the next one we'll do is going to be Pornversation. We're going to do another talk on that. And we'll just kind of be rotating through it. So we'll do a Pornversation talk, and then a couple weeks after that, we'll do another Just the Tips talk, which was going to be, so the Pornversation talk is going to be on how to have a pornversation. The Just the Tips is going to be about OBS, because that's what everybody had asked, for you to go over OBS.
Yeah.
It's going to be mostly just like a screen capture video, and then we'll sit here and people can come ask their OBS questions.
Yeah.
And then my story is like down the road, some other questions. So.
Right.
Anyway, so if you have any questions for us, whether it be on tech stuff or just like camming relationship stuff or our story, like what, our past or anything like that, just email us, let us know. We're just going to keep doing these little chats and yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, we need to approve on each other's accounts and stuff like that. So we would have to get you verified for us to do Streamception.
Right. But we can do it.
Yeah, we can do it.
But we can do it.
I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Yeah, cool. We'll catch you guys next time.
See you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Allison Chains, hey. Sorry you're coming in right as we're leaving, but...
oh, wow. Hey.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Alice. Pulaski, no! Oh, thank you. You're
Jim,
so
you're
nice.
A dork. Shut your face.
Oh, hey, Bare Naked Vegans. I'm glad that you guys came too. We recorded it. In the first half, we had some issues, so you didn't miss much. And we'll put it on the YouTube channel. So, the YouTube channel. Like the one. No, it's just youtube.sexyhippies.com. Because YouTube doesn't give you like an easy to remember URL.
Gotcha.
So I had to assign one.
It's pretty easy.
Well, I made that.
Oh, okay.
You know,
yeah,
like I did the subdomain
Yeah,
thing.
that's with the thing and the forwarding and the,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're sitting on your speaker. Oh my god. We don't have tip sounds on, by the way. So if you log in and turn tip sounds off yourself, you won't be able to hear them in our room at all. If you're the kind of person who doesn't. We don't.
Yeah.
It's a little bit loud for my ears.
Yeah, we actually turn them off. So yeah.
So you won't hear them through our mic. You'll only hear them on your end.
Did you know that you could do that?
Yeah. Did you know you could do that? It's really nice.
We are releasing the story vid.
The one I read of your story. Yeah, Jason.
10%.
Turned to 10%. Yeah, sometimes I do that too.
Anymore is fucking annoying.
It's ridiculous. That's why I hate perving anonymously, because I have to hear the tip sounds. Whenever Jason does the audio, I'm all done cutting it, and I'm just waiting on him to master the audio. So you can bother him about it.
But you just finished cutting it up today, right?
No.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm. 2 days ago or something.
Okay, last.
It's fine. It's on the board for due by 11:30. That's the date.
Oh.
So he has all the way till the 30th to do it, but I hope he'll do it sooner.
Exactly. When you start queefing. Oh.
That's what my queef sounds like.
Nice.
I get caught by my husband. Exactly. The tip sound. Everybody will know what you're doing. Like
so the way you get caught. The way you get caught is when you're perving somebody's room and you're not signed in. And why aren't you signed in? Because you don't want everybody in the room to know that you're in there. Because you know.
That's right. And then you have to hear the tip sounds.
So when you're not logged in, you can't control the tip sounds. Smart, Chaturbate. Smart.
Assholes.
Smart.
We need to just register of like what I can't believe we don't have multiple accounts, you know. We just like troll around on here. It's just too much to keep up with. So
we are friends that got married.
Oh, that's cute, baby. You know your neighbors hear it. I'm so grateful that our neighbors aren't that close, you know. All right, thank you, Debasser. I don't know if we said thank you already. Anyway, well, we love you guys very much. We'll see you next time. If you haven't already followed us, please hit that follow button on Chaturbate, as well as considering giving us a follow on Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram is Sexy Hippies and our Twitter is Sexy_Hippies. Apparently people are having a really hard time finding it because we're really shadow banned right now. So anyway, thanks.
Love you guys.